Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Liliana, Woman with a Vision. My message from God today is they denied you, but yet God is still blessing you and God had a plan for your life. Don't always think that a person that's denying you is something bad. There's definitely a reason why God allows us to be denied by certain people or rejected by certain people. You know, God knows and sees everything. And I always say this, God knows and sees everything. He knows the intentions of our heart, especially people that come into our life. Sometimes we can't see what God can see. You know, we don't see the bad in a person because we choose to love them or be caring so much. We don't see how a person may be betraying us. We don't see how a person may be coming against us. Or we don't see how a person really doesn't have our good interests at heart. Maybe just around for comfort. You know, I see a lot of people and they're in relationships out of comfort. They're in relationships out of I've gotten so comfortable around this person. I know this person knows me, but the intentions of their heart isn't good. And they're constantly doing things behind your back, but you don't see it because you care so much about a person. And that's the message that I got today. You care so much about this person that you did not see the red flags. You did not see the negativity. You did not see the warning signs that this person was not for you. So in the end, you ended up being rejected or denied, and it hurt your feelings, you know. But God allows things to happen so that we can be aware. God took you out of that situation because it was not good for you. So don't always look at denial as a bad thing or someone rejecting you. That's God removing a person out of your life for your better good. Because guess what? God loves us so much. He doesn't want us all. He doesn't want to see us hurting. He doesn't want to see people mistreating you or doing you wrong. You know, we have to be held accountable for the things that we do that are wrong. So don't ever think anybody that ever came into your life without good intentions, oh, they're just walking away and they're going off and be happy. They're not going to tell you when things start going wrong in their life. Because yes, that person, you know, I don't get that whoever this is that's in your life, they did this they knew what they were doing, you know, from the beginning. There was no good intentions towards you from the beginning. They knew, they were very well aware of what was going on, you know, and they have to be held accountable for what they done that is wrong. You keep moving forward and don't let that stop you. Don't let denial and rejection in your life stop you. You know, and this is a relationship. This may be a relationship, you know, a serious relationship. This may be a friendship relationship, you know, someone that you were friends with. Maybe even a family member or someone who decided that they wanted to, you know, not invite you to things within the family and treat you differently from everybody else. You know, one thing that I found out about life is that sometimes family members and people around you, if you don't view life the same way that they do, then they reject you. And sometimes when your light is just shining and everything about you is good, they know when you come around, people you draw attention, and they don't like that. Some people don't like that another person is drawing attention. So they reject you because they know that people are going to like you. It's not that people don't like you, it's that they like you and they're jealous and envious of it. So just be careful. And even in relationships, sometimes that other partner, whoever, may get jealous because of the attention that you're getting. Because, oh no, you weren't supposed to get the attention like that. People weren't supposed to like you. You know, people weren't supposed to like you. Well, if you liked me, what make you think no one else would like me? You know, and that's just the case. You know, a lot of the rejection and denials that we get is because people don't get a chance to get to know you. They judge you based off of other people's opinions, or they judge you based off of not really getting to know you and who you are as a person. They may see one or two little things happen in your life and they say, oh, this person is like this, but they don't know why you're the way you are, or they don't know what's going on in your life or what happened before they met you in your life, because they're not taking out the time to talk to you and to get to know you. So they deny you. You're not good enough. Or maybe you didn't look the part. Or people have different reasons why they do the things that they do. Or they're worried about what other people may think because maybe you don't necessarily fit in. to their little group of people that they used to being around. There's so many different things that can happen to make a person deny or reject someone, you know? And in the end, this person regrets rejecting you because whatever they went towards, it wasn't what they thought it was. And now they're sitting back thinking that they should have gave you a chance before they rejected you or denied you. Oh, they should have given you a chance. So if you get a phone call from someone from your past, know that whatever else they went towards once they rejected you or denied you, or whatever else they thought that was better, it wasn't. Even if it was a family member or a friendship type of situation, the other people that they were going along with didn't even care about them like that. And they're realizing over time, and they're seeing different little flags and red flags like, man, I denied this person because I thought they weren't good enough. And now I wish I wouldn't have because I want to be back around them. You know, they like whatever it is, whatever you brought to the table, they liked it, but they didn't realize that it was a good thing until you were gone. And they decided to go be with someone else. And sometimes that happens. When people reject one thing and they go towards someone, oh, this is much better because, oh, this person may look a certain kind of way, or they may have a certain type of money and they want that type of image, and they want this, you know, because it looks good on me, you know, or they have certain things and I want to be around someone like that, you know. I don't want to be around someone who, doesn't have what I think is good, or they're not up to par in my eyes. So they end up rejecting you. And once they did, that wasn't what it thought, because it's not all about material things. What people don't realize is that it's not all about material things, you know, all the time. It's not. It's not. And even if you do, and even if you did have, there may have been something else about you that they just didn't like, you know, and so they denied you, but they regret it. They regret it. They really do. Job 8:18 says, if thou be a child of the Lord, thou shalt not be denied. So denied from man doesn't mean that you get a denial from God. That means that God is leading you in a different path, that God has a different path for you in your life. Don't always feel like, you know, because a person has denied or rejected you, that, oh, I feel this certain kind of way because I've been rejected or denied. You know, rejection and denial in God's eyes is a good thing, because God, like I said, God knows the intentions of everybody's heart, and God always wants what's best for us. He doesn't want to see us hurting and suffering. You know, if you had stayed in a relationship with this person, you might have got tossed in between, you know, them and someone else, and someone coming for you, and you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know this person was talking to someone else, or you didn't know this family or friendship or friend or whoever was talking about you behind your back or doing things, you know, you didn't know. So who would have known what the outcome would have been if God hadn't took you out of that situation? Only God knows. So trust God. At the end of the day, always trust God. Know that God knows and is always going to do what is best for us in these situations. It's hard and it's not easy, because then you have to deal with being hurt, and then you have to deal with getting over that situation. Some people, they can wake up and tomorrow, it doesn't matter to them. Couple days, they over it. They moved on with their life. And then sometimes when you get attached to people, sometimes people hold on to it, or they never forgive. But God is a forgiving God. He would that we would forgive, but it's your choice if you want to or not. No one can make you forgive. No one can make you forgive. But know that God loves you so much, and He wishes that you would, because God is forgiving you. You know, all the things that we do on a regular basis, we don't even realize, but God still forgives us. He looks out for us. He looked out for you in a situation and caused you to be denied or rejected. And you may feel like it's being bad, but I'm telling you, that was God protecting you in this situation today, that was God protecting you, because God loves us so much. He cares about us so much. He's always looking out for us in the background, working things out, figuring things out for us. Oh, they don't see it. He may try to show us, but sometimes we're just blindsided. We're blindsided by love. We're blindsided by the things that we desire that may look so good to us, but may not be good for us on a spiritual level. You know, it may be hurting us. It looks so good. It feels so good, but it may not be for you. God is always trying to give you things that are good for you and not bad. God loves us just that much. I was watching a movie the other day, and in the movie, the young lady, it was tossing between two people. You know, she liked this one guy, but she wasn't good enough for him. But she didn't see. She kind of noticed it towards the end, because at first when she started dating the guy, she didn't see that she wasn't good enough for him, you know. And she wasn't broke, you know. She had a pretty decent job, you know. Her family, her family, they were pretty much well off, you know. But she wasn't really high class, you know. But this guy, his apartment was extravagant and nice, and, you know, sitting up in a penthouse. She didn't have a penthouse apartment, but she had a nice apartment, but it wasn't good enough for him. And she didn't see it till after they started dating. And she said, well, you know, he's never been to my place. We always go to his apartment and hang out and eat dinner and or whatever, but he never comes to my place. Well, her place wasn't good enough for him. Her place wasn't good enough for him. She didn't think so. And then she met this other guy who was a lawyer. So, of course, he was well off, but he just liked her for who she was. He liked her for who she was. He didn't care about where she lived at. You know, she was a teacher, and, you know, he didn't care. He just liked her for who she was. He thought she was a beautiful person. So, you know, one denial from one person doesn't mean that God didn't have something in the store for her, because she was friends with him. The other guy, she was already friends with him, but they weren't, you know, she didn't really look at him like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. But she ended up being in a relationship with him and moving forward in life. But she didn't see all the red flags from the other guy. She kind of noticed it toward the end, and she asked her friend, she said, you know what, he never comes to my place. And then when she did invite him to her place and around her friends, he didn't even want to be around her friends. He had negative things to say about her apartment, about her friends, and this what you do. You know, he was very negative. She was like, wow, I didn't know that you felt that way. No, me and my friends aren't perfect, but wow, you know. But God had something else in store for her, because the person that she wasn't really paying attention to, that's the person that really, really liked her. She didn't really pay attention to, and that's who she ended up being with. God always has something else for you. If he sees that things aren't right, he's going to red flag us. He's going to cause that rejection to happen. And he always has something else in store for you. God is so good to us, but we don't realize it. Don't pass that something else up now. Because a lot of times we hurt from one relationship and we carry it on over into another. Don't pass that good thing up that comes in your life, that blessing that God is trying to give you. A lot of times we pass it up because we so hurt from what someone else did that we don't see that the other blessing is right there in front of you. God is so good, you know, and I'm glad I watched that movie. That was a really good movie. It was a really, really good movie, but it had a very valid point that sometimes people judge you according to what you have, not because of who you are, because she was a beautiful person, a sweet person. She was a teacher. She was very good to her students. She was just beautiful in and out in every kind of way. But that man didn't see it because he was just looking at what she had and not who she was. But know that God doesn't look at that. God knows the intentions of our hearts. He loves us so much. He's always there for us no matter what. So don't let denial or rejection become a thing in your life where you can't move forward, or you think that you can't move forward because you've been rejected or you've been denied and it's just hurting you, keeping you down. Know that God allows those things to happen for a reason. He sees what we can't see. He sees everything, the things that we cannot see, the intentions of a person's heart, them doing things behind our back that's not right. everything. God knows and he sees, and he's always doing things for our best interest, not wanting to see us hurting, depressed, and sad, because that's how you get. It's a part of life. You're human. Some people get depressed and they get sad because of rejection and denial. And some people just get used to being rejected and denied. And it's just like, oh, well, I know God doesn't want you to be like that. That's not a good feeling. And no one wants to feel like that. Know that God loves you so much. And I love you too. I am Liliana, a woman with a vision. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing this message with someone who may need to hear it or apply it to your own life if it's for you. All of the messages may not be for you. I always tell people, when you go to church on Sunday, every time you hear that pastor preach, that doesn't mean that message is for you. Some people get offended by one message, but that message may not be for you. Everything that I watch on TV or social media or whatever, it's not for me. Not everything. Every situation is not mine. But I do always take words of encouragement and uplifting, saying that, hey, denial and rejection doesn't mean that you just give up on life. That God had another purpose or plan for your life. I take that as encouragement, and I apply that to my life in every kind of way. You can take a message and flip it around, and it still can be an encouragement in your life in another area in your life. Maybe not a relationship. It could be work. It could be anything. But don't always get offended when people don't say exactly what you want to hear, because that message may not be for you. You can always turn the message around and apply it to another area in your life. Know that God loves you so much. And everything, when you come across things and people and messages for a reason. There's a reason and there's a purpose. But you got to look at the brighter side of it and not always be so negative, but to be positive. God loves us so much, and I love you too. The weekend is coming up. You all be safe. Enjoy your weekend. I will have Saturday morning prayer, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for those who are in other countries or watching from different time zones. That'll be 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday morning prayer. Today is Thursday. I'll announce it again tomorrow just to remind you all. Come on into the prayer room and pray with us for Saturday morning prayer. God bless you all.